let's talk about my advents and everything I hope to make in the month of December. I have a lot of Christmas yarns, so we'll see if I get to any of it. Hello, my name is Emily Crow from The Cozy Crow, and welcome to my YouTube channel, and welcome to Vlogmas. This is our very first video for Vlogmas in 2024. Last year I did 12 videos, and I think I'm gonna follow that pattern again. It allowed me to be more intentional about the content I was putting out. I think that it will be less stressful than trying to do a daily vlog, especially with my schedule as a nurse. So I hope you'll join along with me as I put out 12 different vlogs for the month of December and celebrate the holiday season. First off, I have a lot of things that I want to talk about, a lot of things that I want to work on for the month of December. So I've got a big list here that I'm excited to talk about. First, I think what's most exciting, I want to talk about my advents that I am opening this year. If you don't know what an advent is, it is a box with many different small packages that you open throughout the month of December. In this case, it's like a countdown calendar. I think Advent is originally having religious connotations, but people do it nowadays for a lot of like secular packages too. And I've got a few yarny related Advents that I want to share with you. This first one I'm really excited about. I designed 2 patterns to go along with this box, and Sarah of Dying Wishes Yarn Co. has sent me the rest of the goodies in this box besides the yarn that I got for designing the patterns. When this video comes out, the patterns will be live. Here you go. I designed the Honey Pot socks as well as the Honey Pot DK socks using Sarah's yarn. You'll notice it's still in grayscale because the yarn hasn't been revealed yet. But if you purchased one of these boxes from Sarah, then you received a coupon code to download the corresponding pattern for free to be included with your box. And so I have the rest of the box here, this cute sticker. I tried to preserve the sticker and cut around it, but now the box just looks janky. I'm really excited to be able to open this box too. I'm probably not going to follow the opening schedule since I already have 2 of the colorways in my possession, and this is just the remainder of the box. I'm just going to open it when I feel like it and probably enjoy the goodies throughout the month of December. Ta-da! There's some cute tissue paper for the 100-acre wood in there, and I'm really excited to break into this, so I may show all of these goodies on a different Vlogmas episode, but I don't want to spoil anything yet, so we are not going to open it quite yet. The next advent I have to share with you is from Woolberry Fiber Co. And for this advent, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but there were 2 different colorway directions that you could choose from. You could do, I think there was like a merry and bright, and then there was like a more cozy and desaturated color scheme. I chose the cozy color scheme, and so I have 12 50-gram skeins in here. I figured that would be a better amount for making like a blanket or something like that. And then I also purchased both of the full skeins, both of the like merry and bright and the cozy colorways. I can enjoy those as well. I'm not sure if I will incorporate them into the same project as the 50-gram skeins or if they'll become socks or what, but I really like purchasing from Woolberry Fiber Co. because they have a lot of artistry in the colors that they create, and I've had a lot of fun opening their mystery boxes. I've had a lot of fun opening their book boxes, so I'm excited to see their advent this year. Again, there is 12 smaller skeins, and then I have 2 main skeins that are in there, both of different colorways. So I haven't quite decided how I'm gonna open everything. Maybe I'll start the beginning of the month and open all 12 of the smaller skeins. I'm not sure yet. I actually purchased 2 advents from Fangirl Fibers. I saw some random person post about it in their stories, and it was like the day before all these advents closed, so I jumped on it and I could not resist. One of them is a bookish calendar, and this is a weekly countdown calendar, so there's yarn for each week that I open. I could have purchased the books to go along with it, but I do like reading a lot of my books from the library, and I also wasn't sure if any of these books that would be featured on the yarns are ones that I already have on my shelves, and so I didn't want to waste the money. So we'll open the yarns and decide if I need to purchase the book or if I can get it from my library, from Libby, or whatever. I'm sure I can find a way to access these books, but I want to film a vlog later on this month where I'm reading the books inspired by these yarns. I don't have a product yet in mind. I think I'll wait to see what they look like, but it'll be really fun to reveal the yarns as I read the books that inspired them. And then my final advent from Fangirl Fibers is a 25-day advent calendar, and this is inspired by Beauty and the Beast, the Disney movie specifically. I think it is one of my favorite classics. Beauty and the Beast is one of my favorite stories. I love the musical. I adore it. I'm actually seeing it next week here in Utah, and I just love Beauty and the Beast. It's so nostalgic for me, and I thought it would be really fun, and I just couldn't say no to an advent calendar inspired by one of my favorite childhood stories. So I'm so excited to be able to open this and do a little everyday advent. It's more fun to open a daily advent for me. I tried last year. I had a couple weekly things to open. I really like opening every single day. It's just like a fun little treat. And so I'm excited to have a couple different types of advents to partake in. At the very end of Vlogmas, I'm going to do a reveal and show you everything that's included in each of these boxes so you can actually see all the things that came in these advent boxes. I've been really enjoying opening mystery style boxes with some goodies and yarn. They've just brought me a lot of joy recently, and so I leaned into that this year. As far as some other advent-y type of projects that I want to share with you that I'm hoping to work on in the month of December, Sarah Shira has again another mystery gnome knit along, and I've really loved participating in these in the past. I have a few gnomes up there. My daughter has taken about half my gnomes that live on this corner of my shelf, so you can't see all the ones that I own, but I've loved being able to look through my yarn stash and pull from either minis that I have or scraps from other projects and make these color palettes and create some really cute gnomes. So this is my color palette. I'm actually really happy with this. It took me a while to figure out what I wanted to do, but I think this will be my color one, my main color, the showstopper, this really beautiful magenta, and then color 2 is in contrast to that, a black. I don't normally knit with a lot of black, but this had the best contrast with such a dark color. And then Sarah recommended that for color 3 I do a lighter color if my colors 1 and 2 are darker, so I did this mint. And then color 4 is going to be the beard, skin tone, maybe some extra bit type of color too. So really happy with this. There will be daily clues, whether it is part of the pattern or part of the little story about Nana that we learn about, maybe a recipe or a fun activity or whatnot. I think last year there was a coloring page or two, which is just really fun. So having something to open up every single day as kind of an advent or a countdown until the 21st, which is the solstice. And then you have another like week or two to finish up your gnome and get it submitted for prizes for participating in the make along. Last year I fell behind a little bit, but I was able to catch up in time for the end of the clue period. The clues are small enough, and with some of them being stories and whatnot, you can catch up if you fall behind for a few days. It's not too hard to catch up. I do have a gnome from a couple years ago that I have not made any more progress on, but we're not talking about that very, very long-standing whip. He is still in my basket and may stay there for a while yet. Another make-along I am hoping to participate in, but I am not decided for sure yet, is Sockmas by Knitting Natty. I've enjoyed participating in the past, and this year I actually purchased some yarn from Coven Collected to make these socks. I just love this yarn, everything about it. It just looks so interesting to knit with. I'm really excited to see how it works up for my socks personally. I also bought the pattern from Knitting Natty because I really liked the motif of the snowflake along the cuff, and they looked like a pretty simple pattern but with some really fun, interesting little details, and I love trying out a new sock pattern. So I figured it would be really fun to combine the yarn and the pattern as they were intended. There's also some beads. I'm not quite decided if I want to actually use the beads on my socks or not, but we shall see. I would love to cast this on. I think I can cast on after Thanksgiving. I should double check, but that means I should be winding up this yarn really soon. And I ordered the beautiful bag to go with it, I definitely need more project bags to organize. Coven Collective dyed this fabric themselves. It's super cute. A nice sturdy drawstring and a little loop that you can use. I like to loop my bags on my wrist for knitting while out and about. This is going to be a really good addition to my project bag stash. Also would love to do a Christmas Eve cast on, but I'm not sure if I want to just bank on using maybe Woolburg Fiber Co's, one of their full skeins, or I have a lot of Christmas related yarn I've accumulated over the years. I have some self-striping, I've got some DK weight, I've got some fingering weight. I have quite the variety. I'm not sure what I am more drawn to right now in the moment, maybe this really cute peppermint set by Kimber's Cozy Creations, or is this reindeer poop by Marinated Yarns? I'm feeling pepperminty, candy cane type of vibes, I think, if I had to choose something that I wanted to cast on soon. But I have a lot of other projects that are more time sensitive that will definitely get a focus first before I decide if I want to cast on something for Christmas Eve. But I think that would be really fun to do. As far as some projects that I have started, that I am working on, that I would love to have finished before the end of the year, I've got a few, and one of them is the Astrid Blanket by Mallory Crawl. And if you've seen my book box vlogs for Woolberry Fiber Co. that I've done, I've been working on squares every single season from these boxes. So I've got winter squares, spring squares, summer squares, and fall squares right now. And all I need to do is, finish up some of the squares because I haven't finished all of them, but finish up the squares and then join them all together in a blanket. I am so excited for this project, and I will be doing a vlog taking you along with me as I am finishing up those squares and joining things together, trimming my ends, getting it washed, having this blanket ready. We are going out of town for Christmas, so my big goal is to finish this blanket before we go out of town for the holidays. So we'll see if we can do it, but you're gonna join me on a vlog as I work really hard to finish that blanket off. I don't really work on crochet very much anymore, so this has been a really fun treat to make some squares. It's been so fun to see these color palettes and how they work together, and it's been fun to open these book boxes and read the book that has inspired the colorways in these palettes, and it's just been a really fun project. I can see myself cozying up in this blanket while I'm sitting and reading a book on the couch or in the recliner. So it'll just be really cool to see the culmination of all of these videos and all this reading and all this crocheting to have this blanket finished. If you haven't seen the latest vlog in that series, I recently finished the fall box, and here are the squares from that. So I've kind of rotated through the colors so that they're all in the same order in relation to one another, just for orderly sake. But I have 4 different configurations to mix and match and use the yarn up evenly. I need to work on weaving in these ends and trimming them up, but then I can work on, I think I need to finish the summer squares and the winter squares. I have finished my spring squares, which is exciting. I've got a lot of work to do, so I'll be working on that a lot. It'll be a really fun break from all the knitting that I'm also hoping to do. It's just a fun palette cleanser type of a project with lots of small parts that are easy to, do a handful of them every evening. And so I definitely see myself being able to finish this, but that's probably one of the projects I'm most excited about working on, just because it's been so long in the making. Another project I'm really excited about that I am really close to finishing actually is my Christmas sweater for this year. I knit a Christmas sweater a couple years ago, and I have not been able to do one since, and I really wanted to prioritize it. So I started it in August this year, and it's definitely paid off because it is almost December and I'm almost done with this sweater. So I'll be able to wear it not just for Christmas Day, but also leading up to then as well, if I can stay on track at least. This is my Everett pullover by Fine Fiber Co. I can't tell, the lighting is a little weird, so I don't know if you can see that texture very well or not. I'm having a hard time seeing it in my viewfinder, but it is just this beautiful cable pattern that reminds me of ribbons, and this color is so Christmassy. I love it. People have told me they think it looks good on me. I am definitely more of a warm coloring. I haven't done my color analysis or anything. I'm so excited for this. I am done with the color. I'm done seaming up the shoulders, and I really like how it fits. And I'm working on the sleeve right now. That's sleeve number 1. I finished my short rows, so now I'm just starting on my decreases. So it should be really fun to work on, though there's a lot of purling. Not my favorite, but we do what we gotta. I'm using Knit Picks Swish Worsted in the color Garnet Heather, and I love it. I've wanted to make this sweater for years, like I said now, and I'm so excited that I will actually have it this Christmas season. As a note, I know the designer has talked about expanding their sizing, but it is not completely size inclusive up to a 5X, so be mindful of that. I didn't know that when I purchased this pattern originally, but I do want to let you know if you are considering this pattern. I think that's important to know as a buyer. And then the final project that I've already started that I'm really hoping to finish in the month of December is the Christmas Eve socks for my family. Again, I did this a couple years ago. I don't know what happened last year. I guess I was working full-time as a nurse and ran out of time, but for this year, I really want to make sure we have matching Christmas socks for my family. Same way that people have maybe Christmas pajamas that they open on Christmas Eve. A couple of years ago when I did this before, I had these socks finished for Christmas Eve and we got to open them and wear them for bedtime, and it was just like a really fun start to celebrating Christmas on Christmas Eve and like opening that first present, and also just cute to be all matchy. And my daughter's 4 and she really loves to match with us, which is really fun. So I'm doing the lights on main socks. I don't know how well you can see that texture, by Hookah Canyon by Kim Jackson, and this yarn is by Witchfire Fiber, and it is the color Search for the Perfect Tree, this variegated, and this tonal is called Verdant. I grabbed plenty of yarn so that we can make matching socks for all 3 of us, myself, my husband, and my daughter. 2 years ago, when my daughter was only 2, I ran out of my contrast color, and I think I also ran out of my main color. I was pretty close to the end, and so I had to finagle a little bit and I made it work. But I have plenty of yarn this year and I've already started. I'm not leaving these till the last minute as much. So this is my sock. It's going to be the biggest sock because my husband really likes shorties and my daughter's only 4. So I'm hoping I can knock out my socks pretty early on. And this is after only, let's see, 1 night shift where my patients actually slept and going to church and watching like an hour of YouTube. So not too much longer actually. I think I can finish this within the next couple days. It's been my carry around in the car project. It's been my waiting room project. It's been my watching TV project. So this will happen really fast. And then I'll do the second sock, knock them out. I think I will definitely be able to finish these in time. I'm just really excited that we can have these matching family socks this year. I'm not gonna let time be my enemy. I've got a couple presents that I want to make for some people in my family. I polled the crowd and asked if anyone wanted anything knit for Christmas, and of course only my parents replied. For right now, my goals are to make a pair of socks for my mom. She doesn't really watch my YouTube channel, so I'm hoping this stays a surprise, but if she does look at my YouTube channel, Mom, look away. This is the yarn I'm going to be using. I just pulled from my stash and I figured that my mom would really like this color palette. The last socks I made her were in like a teal, greeny blue, so I wanted something a little bit different. And she really liked how they fit. Last time I made socks, I think that was a couple years ago, and I just barely found my measurements so I can recreate those socks, which I'm really happy about because I don't even remember like how many stitches around I did. I don't know. So I have this yarn from my stash that I think will suit her really well. It's Life in the Long Grass in the color Halcyon. I'm not sure what that means. So this should be really fun to work on and just have a fun pair of socks to knit her. Not sure if I'll do a texture or not. She said that I can do whatever I want. So I guess it depends on how much time I have left when I cast these on and if I want to do something different or if I want to just do a basic vanilla sock. Just kind of what I'm in the mood for. We'll see. My dad wanted a scarf and he's got like a dark green puffer coat that he wears in the winter time, and so he wanted something to match but not necessarily monochromatic. I want to find a variegated that kind of fits in that blue green, maybe like a green brown color. I can't quite decide. His jacket is more of like a blue green than like a true like olive green, if I remember correctly. So I'm gonna try to find a color that is really fun. I definitely don't have it in my stash because I have a lot of single skeins and sock sets and things like that, as well as some garments that I intend for myself. So I need to go to the yarn store. I've got a couple near me I can choose from and find maybe a DK weight or a worsted weight to knit a fun scarf for him. I have a pattern picked out and I can't remember what it's called. I'll pop it up right here, and the name will be down here as well so that you can check it out. It is a free pattern on Ravelry, so I'm gonna take advantage of that, and I really love the texture. I think it will be really fun to knit on. And the final project that I would love to work on in the month of December as we're closing off the year is fixing my husband's socks. I am really far behind on this. I have been meaning to work on these for a long time and I just have not made the time, so I'm making time. Last year I fixed a sweater of mine. This year I'm gonna fix his socks. Let's see, this one is just a little threadbare on the heel, but its matching pair is worn all the way through, so I'm going to fix this up. I have a darning egg. Yes, I have the actual yarn, that same tan color. I think this is a random like mystery yarn from Sorelli Yarn way back when. I got a sock set from them, so I need to patch up the heel. I think he would prefer I use the same yarn rather than like a fun funky color, but might as well patch this up and then reinforce this. And then I don't know how this happened, maybe it got caught on something, but in this pair of socks I made the Fox's Day Out socks by Charlotte Stone a couple of years ago for his birthday, I think, with some cute Arctic foxes. There's a hole here. I don't know how it happened. Probably something snagged is my guess, and it's a smaller hole, but definitely need some good reinforcement. I have to track down this yarn. I'm not sure if I have more of this main color or if I'll have to pick a different color that's similar. I haven't found the yarn for this yet. So I'm gonna fix those socks first and then we'll get to this one. But I really hope to finish those for Christmas because my husband's like, I will take any socks you make me. I like the socks you make me, but more than I want new socks, I want you to fix the old socks that have been missing for a long time. And I'm like, they're not missing. I have them in my craft room. My goal is to get to those this year as well. So there you have it, my advents for December 2024, as well as all the projects I hope to work on or finish before the end of this year. Let me know if you're going to participate in any of these make-alongs or if you purchased any of these advent boxes that I have, or if you have any other countdown boxes that you're really excited to open for this December holiday season. I am so excited. And let me know, are you working on any presents for this year or any makes for yourself for this December? Let me know down below. I would love to hear the things that you're working on and your goals as you're trying to finish out this year of making. And until next time, happy making. Bye!